And welcome to part 6 of the 400-gallon aquarium build-out. We've just begun to create the rockscape inside the tank, and it looks like there's a little bit of artistic interpretation.
Tell you what, Rick's right. You want to let me in there?
Because you're going to make him change all the rocks, so you should be in there.
Where do you want me to put this? You tell me.
Move it out of the way for the moment. Trade these 2 rocks over here.
I have a vision in my mind, and it's not always easy to convey it to someone else.
Pull your pants up, all I see is ass.
Oh. Yeah, don't be...
Allowing the rock to scratch the acrylic before we've even put water in it would be a serious embarrassment as well as a big problem.
Oh, that's close. Okay, that's fine. I won't interject too much anymore. Wherever you want it from this point on.
I'm not leaving out here until it's perfect.
Well, just build it. That way it looks natural and perfect.
Okay, where you want this one? Over here?
Yeah, you can build like a cave over there.
It's fast approaching 8 o'clock p.m. We've been here for 10 hours, and I'm starting to get a little tired, but we need to get this tank filled and running tonight. And so as we take a deep breath, we'll keep moving forward and weave ourselves the results of what my mind's eye envisioned.
Or a rock sitting on the back of it to hold it up.
What's this?
Yeah, it's something's gonna fall there.
It's
Here. Take this rock and put it on top of that flat piece in that back corner. Yeah.
And slowly, we managed to create a foundation that has a natural look to it, and it's structurally sound. This is the framework that will have the decorative corals placed upon it, so it has to be a solid structure. Additionally, we want it to be fish-friendly. Lots of large open caves, and yet plenty of open water for big swimmers.
So I'm okay with the way it is stacked. I like it. So if you feel everything in there is secure, then I would think the next thing is we could start bringing the gravel in.
everything.
Also, take a look at that return behind you. I think it bumps or discharges right into the edge, or did you turn it? Okay.
We will be using 2 different size granule gravels. This is crushed coral gravel. Not only will it help keep the water's pH up, it's also natural and appropriate looking. Greg had rinsed this gravel free of its dust and dirt earlier today. As the gravel fills in and around the rock structure, it'll help keep the rock structure in position. Someone recently posted that crushed coral gravel would introduce nutrients into the aquarium system. I find that hard to believe, knowing that crushed coral gravel comes from coral reef beaches and was originally living coral. I can't think of anything better to use. We have 400 pounds of gravel to put in the tank. And that surrounds the 400 pounds of rockwork. With all the washed gravel now poured into the tank, Condi will begin to smooth it out. So here is our rock foundation. Our cameraman Rick said he thought it looked rather freshwater. I look at it as the framework to position the decorative corals upon. That's right, I said decorative corals. Since this will be a fish-only system, I can manage it much better using a rotating set of decorative corals. If you recall, last December in episode 109, we broke down the 300-gallon living coral reef tank that was here for the last 14 years. The homeowner now wishes to have a more traditional fish-only system. In my initial meeting with him, he did not want the artificial coral sculpture, and we agreed that the rotating coral decorations were what best fit his and my needs. And with the rock, gravel, decorations, and the filter system all in place, I now need to, power-wise, begin to finalize its safe and accessible installation of all the power cords.
What time do you want them to come on?
5 o'clock in the afternoon.
5 o'clock is 1700
Yes.
and go off?
This is the pump for the customer's G3 protein skimmer. Even though I do plan on using an algae scrubber, I'm still going to use the existing protein skimmer.
Thank you. That looks good, thank you. Every saltwater tank should have a protein skimmer. It's not a necessity, just a real benefit to the aquarium. Not only will it aerate the water, it will drive organic compounds out of the water, lessening what the biological filter needs to deal with.
I mentioned an algae scrubber. I do plan on installing an algae scrubber, but the drip tray that I had special made, I miscalculated on the length, and we'll have to install that at a later time now. With multiple LED light strips, we're gonna have multiple power supply cords that all need to be neatly secured to the underside of the canopy lid. And with everything now connected, secured, decorated, it's time to begin to add the water. Wait a minute, is that a garden hose?
I think you go ahead and turn the water on. Hello, my name is Jim Stime. I'm with Midwater Systems, and I'm the developer of the Jelly Aquarium. The Jelly Aquarium is a tank designed specifically for the keeping of jellyfish. I offer 5 different sizes of tanks designed to be built into a wall or a freestanding cabinet. I also offer the inexpensive Mini Jelly Aquarium, which has its filter system built into its backside. Additionally, I offer tank-raised moon jellyfish, as well as a line of tanks designed for producing your own jellyfish. For more information on this fascinating world of keeping jellyfish, visit jellyaquarium.com.
For a limited time only, LA Fishguys t-shirts are back. Whether it's gear for cleaning your own aquarium or one-upsmanship with your friends, these quality Hanes beefy tees are 100% pre-strung cotton. My 3-color LA Fishguys logos are silk-screened onto the back and front chest area of the shirts. 3 sizes, medium, large, and extra large. Go to lafishguys.com and click on the t-shirt link to order your LA Fishguys t-shirts today.
All right, Greg.
But that's tap water. Well, that's right. I did not have the ability to provide 400 gallons of real ocean water, and I did not rent a mixed bed DI canister to purify the water. But to be quite honest with you, there are no fish to be concerned with at this time, although I will tell you that I do end up dealing with a heavy diatom bloom. But that was to be expected on a new tank as well.
Okay. All right, so we've started to fill the tank with water. First thing I want to do is start paying attention to the bulkheads that are coming through the bottom of the tank. Make sure there's no leaks or drips there. As the tank fills up, the returns from the circulation pump and the intake strainer will begin to fill up. So I'll go ahead and close those now.
and then once it gets full enough where water starts spilling into the overflow, then we can start looking at that. So there's 3 different levels of paying attention for leaks or drips, and we just have to wait as the tank fills up.
Only until the tank is filled up will I then add the salt mix. I figure no need to add the salt mix until I've confirmed there's no leaks or the need for me to drain all the fresh water out of the tank. And while the tank does fill, I will add the submersible heaters down into the filter below. And Condi will finish securing the LED light strips to the underside of the canopy above. And with the light strips secured, we begin to plug in the individual cords into the lighting controller. I did require some additional guidance from the distributor on how to properly program the unit, but it does offer basically 2 channels. Both channels are programmable in times on and off, but also in the increase and decrease, or the sunrise-sunset effect, time frames. So far, everything looks just fine. No leaks, no drips, but then water is just now beginning to fill the pipes for the internal circulation water pump. And with that, we'll plug in the water pump.
Wow, that's some pretty serious flow, huh?
Both sides are real quick. Oh, good.
That's a lot louder pump than I really...
That's 4,500 gallons an hour in a half-full 400-gallon aquarium.
That's just vibration noises.
Well, as soon as I can get it lifted up, it seems to go away.
We need to put a thicker pad below it.
Probably this one right here would work for it. The one you got your knee on. What you think about that one?
As always, pump noise and vibration are 2 things that need to be addressed right away.
I don't think I can lift it up, dude. It is going to go that high. Just give me a mouse pad back.
Double it. No?
Quite often, an old computer mouse pad is adequate enough to help buffer the vibration into the stand. In this case, I had to double the mouse pad.
A little on the noisy side, as soon as I get it off the bottom.
Maybe stick a newspaper under it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's great.
A little better. Much better. Okay. Just doubled up the mouse pad. Okay.
And as the tank continues to fill up, we keep checking the various fittings for leaks or drips.
Leaks or drips.
Raise up the
It's now spilling back here, but I gotta wait until the sump fills up before I
raise up the.
turn the pump on.
I'm saying, should we raise up the returns up there, or do you want to leave them down?
Well, they should be pointing down so that when I do turn the pump on, they don't shoot water out.
Water now is starting to run down the
What's
return
that?
lines through the UV sterilizer and aquarium chiller, and then begins to spill into the tank's internal overflow and down into the wet-dry trickle filter. Now that the tank is completely full and flowing into the filter below, we prepare to turn the filter pump on.
It's about a 60 gallon overflow. Sump right there, John.
And with an adequate amount of water in the wet-dry trickle filter below, we plug in the filter water pump.
Watch that. Make sure there's no leaks or drips there.
And with every job, I expect a leak or 2. That way, I'm prepared for it. But so far, I've seen no leaks, drips, or puddles. Now with the entire system running with no obvious issues, we can begin to address the cleanup aspects of the job. such as wiping the interior of the tank and latching of the stand doors.
Okay, so we've got to the point where the tank's been filled up with water. All the pumps are running. Everything is plugged in. No leaks, no drips. So we're going to put the salt mix in now, and then we'll clean up and we'll leave tonight, and then I'll come back tomorrow and double check the salinity and finish cleaning the inside of the tank and such. So while I'm standing with a knife in my hand, close to the proximity of that acrylic, let me pay attention to putting the salt in, and then we'll go from there.
So let's talk briefly about salt water. One could use real ocean water. One could employ some purification method of the fresh water, and one could use water from the faucet. Assuming it's not high in some odd element, water from the faucet and a quality salt mix is just fine. The real difference is not the mineral content, but the organic and inorganic compounds such as ammonia, nitrate, and phosphate. I feel comfortable enough in filling this tank initially with faucet water and then using real ocean water from that point onwards.
Okay, we're down to the last bag of salt. It'll be 450 gallons worth of salt. I'm not gonna put this bag of salt into the tank yet, namely because it'll be easier for me tomorrow to add salt to raise the salinity as opposed to have to drain water out of the tank and add fresh water back. So I'm not gonna put this in. We are very pleased with the results of how this turned out. The homeowner is very pleased. And I think everyone that worked on the job today is pleased with the results as well. And I do thank all of them for all of their help. So until next time,
That is correct.
until next time,
That is correct.
until next time, keep moving forward. Don't let any of the bad things bother you. Just make it a point to get the job done, because that's what it's all about.
Yay, yay.